we're starting something a little bit new. It is going to be called the ABC Build Challenge. It's not actually a build challenge, it's more to get me back into building, and to interest myself, I've decided I'm going to build basically a series of 26 buildings, all inspired by the alphabet, because I need to fill in all these blank lots in Edirann, and feels like that's the only way I'm going to do it. You saw towards the beginning I was just pointing out some things neighboring this particular lot. So this is going to be what I'm going to call Artisan's Alley. I was really inspired by a lot of different, basically English towns. I think York was the main one that have like these cramped shopways that are super old and they've probably been there forever, and I really liked the style. I wanted to do like almost a U-shaped style series of buildings where you can cut through at the very end and actually get to that courtyard that's in the back of Hartman's jewelry store. But ultimately I wanted it to look like it was a solid U, like a really narrow U, but still solid. So you can see I'm kind of working out the basic shape and structure of this building. All the photo references I saw, they were all like 2 or 3 stories at least. And they were probably longer on the sides, but this is a very narrow lot, so I couldn't really do that. And I'm fine with these being narrow. Most of the businesses on this lot are not going to be like a functional business. It's set dressing, but there's going to be usable pieces as well, because I don't want a lot that's purely for show. Like, my intent is I am going to use this in the neighborhood, but I don't need every single room to be functional. This is pretty large lot. Some of the things that I'm creating anyways don't have any functional CC, so like a limner or a map maker, so they just need to be decorative. And I did create the list kind of ahead of time. I created a big list, and so I was going down like through the different letters, like, okay, what can be included in Artisan's Alley that doesn't need to be like its own special individual lot? Because as many Sims that I have in Edirann, like, I don't have enough I don't have enough Sims to fill every single medieval career that exists ever. You can see here I am struggling with the roof because I decided to build the building super close to the road, and so the ones on the end do have to have a flat type roof, which I'm fine with. It's a little annoying that I just did it on the 2 ends, but whatevs. I love that you can see like the yellow shutters of Strickland Bakery, the little dog portion. Like, I was just really excited. And I made sure that the hole in the gate, like the little gap that I left, does meet through, so it looks like you could walk through, even though you can't, because that's not how Sims 2 works. But it looks like you could, and it makes me very happy. This section of roof drove me nuts. I still am not happy with the result, but there's no way to get the roof. It like was a little curled lip, so that's why I'm using these the Take Mizu style roofs that we see in the vacation worlds. I don't know how to pronounce that, by the way. It's probably not Take Mizu, but that's how it's said in my brain, so. But like, that was the closest I could get to what it actually looked like. Except there's a little bit of roof sticking out, so I end up leaving those tiles there and doing like a fencing bit. It's not perfect, but it's as close as I was gonna get, and I wanted to try to keep that element. Also, sorry I keep sniffling. I have been so sick for weeks now, or not weeks now, okay, 5 days now. I've had the worst cold. I do not have the thing that I don't think we're allowed to mention without YouTube getting weird, but y'all know what I mean. I don't have it. I have a bad cold and probably strep throat, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know how I have any kind of sickness, because I'm not around human beings ever, and I genuinely mean that. I just stay in my apartment. I have all my groceries delivered. I see like 2 people, and it's definitely not on a regular basis, but whatever. I'm apparently magic. Now that I'm looking at it, the roofing is kind of bothering me. There's just the 2 on the edge. I wish I would have done a flat roof on a different one, but You can see I'm kind of checking the sight lines because I really wanted that, like, you can peek through and you can see a bunch of buildings, a bunch of shops, and I really wanted it. The wallpaper makes me incredibly angry because what I initially did was accurate to the photos that I was looking at. Like, there would be almost a 3-tile sort of building, and then right next to it was attached another almost 3-tile sort of building, completely different stonework, no, like, nice seam, but in The Sims it looks weird. It looks weird to have them side by side like that, so I'm gonna struggle so much with that, because it makes me mad. I'm like, but it just, this is what it looks like, but it's not, yeah, it was hard. It was, I wish it looked better in The Sims, even though that's what it looks like in real life. It doesn't look as good in the game. I'm a little mad about the shadow on that roof, but not enough to, like, do anything about it. And you can see already how much fun I have trying to navigate in the middle bits, because it's just, it is a tight squeeze, and I'm happy about it. Like, that's what I wanted, but I was also cursing myself the entire time, because it was rough. It was rough. You can see here I'm trying to decide, like, how I'm going to differentiate between these kind of separate buildings there. I think I end up going with a solid bit of stonework all the way. Maybe not right away, but later on, just because it was too much and it was bothering me. Even though it was accurate, again, I hated it. I hated it. I was like, I can't do it. I can't. We need some sameness here. And yeah, so just putting up wallpapers. I'm trying to remember all the different professions that end up in here. I haven't decorated them yet. I've put, like, little bits of decor just so I know, like, which one I intended to be, because I don't know when I'm actually going to decorate the lot. It was mostly about getting the shelves built, because I can always decorate, and I always get a wild hair and feel like decorating, so I'm not concerned about that. It's the building that I really got away from, because I was so focused on, let's just get all the Sims created, plunk them down, and start playing Edirann, because that's what I wanted to do. That was my goal. I did it, but now it's like, okay, now I can't play because every single family that is up on the rotation next, oh, they don't have a house, or their house is completely empty, and so it's slow going. I think I'm only gonna get 1 round, maybe 2 finished this year, because it's just a lot, but I still enjoy it. I'm still having fun. I'm trying to pick some different Tudor swatches, but not have them so different that it's, like, glaring. Ugh, I'm so sorry about the sniffling. I can't not sniffle. And it's so frustrating too, because it's just like, I can't breathe. And so I'll go downstairs and then I'll come back upstairs and I'm like, out of breath. And it makes no sense. Because it's not like I'm doing anything, but it's just, I'm sick. That's the nature of the beast. I love these roofs. I'm mad at the roofs, but I just love how this lot turned out. Overall, like, it's everything I wanted. It is everything that I wanted. And I'm excited about the project as well, because I feel like it's going to help me fill in a lot of these gaps. Especially when I'm taking screenshots and, like, I realize how many empty lots there are, and you just have a bunch of roads in the background when people are outside. And that bothers me, but, like, what am I going to do? Stop playing, go decorate a whole lot, build a whole lot, and then come back and take that screenshot? No, that's not going to happen. I love this wallpaper with, like, the stone and then the bit of Tudor stuff on top, but I very quickly discovered you can't really use this in multi-story buildings. You can't, because there's not, like, a bottom piece with the stone, and it doesn't look great with pretty much any other selection that you make. I find something that works, but it was hard, and I was mad, because, like, I really love that. I think it's so pretty. I want to use it everywhere, and it's not, for especially this type of building, like, it just was not happening. Like, I'm gonna come back to it. That's literally what I just did. I'm like, we're gonna come back to that. And I also like that this almost looks like it's repurposed, like maybe there was some sort of old castle there. Because Edirann did go through the equivalent of a civil war for a couple years. And so a lot of things did get destroyed. And then Arndt Blumenthal also destroyed things after the war was over, because that's me getting mad. Because he wanted to establish himself as a king, and there were certain things that were reminiscent of the old regime, I don't know, of the old royal family that he just didn't want to exist anymore. So it makes sense that, like, there'd be bits of tower and things still standing that they decided to repurpose. I love this stone, by the way. I do. That goes into the stucco. It's so pretty. I wish I had a few more pieces of the second story so it doesn't look quite so samey. But it's so good. It's so good. See, I'm like, that's too much. It's so good. It's a good wallpaper. 10 out of 10. And this is my way of getting around it. I'm like, okay, what if I did this? It's very hodgepodge, but again, this is like an artisan's alley, so it makes sense that it's a little bit kooky. They made do, and it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I would like you to know that I recorded the first part of this. I was watching YouTube videos, like, while I built, and I was watching the casual crim list, and it was just, I just was letting it play at random, and it was the White Uno band, and I don't know why now, but I can literally hear, except my brain's weird, I can literally hear, it's a podcast, but it's also a YouTube video, I can hear that voice talking as I watch this now, which is weird, but whatevs. I don't know why my brain is the way. I always joke that I have defective photographic memory because I have no control over it, but there are times where, like, I could tell you exactly what a webpage that I looked at 10 years ago looked like, to the color, to the font, to what it said, but, like, I wouldn't know the name of the website or just something weird like that. Like, it's very bizarre to me, the things that I remember in incredible detail for no discernible reason. Like, I don't know. My brain's weird. And here you can see me getting mad because I wanted to put, in the example image, there was, like, arches, but it wasn't touching the floor above it, and I was like, well, so I finally found these, which worked pretty well. Because, yeah, they had a lot of shops with jettying, which is when the second floor is bigger than the first floor, so it sticks out on the edges. Very common in Tudor-era buildings, but I didn't have a lot of the arches that I wanted, which was frustrating, but I got it to mostly work. Yes, I was counting to make sure that I didn't get it wrong. I love these brown ones. I wanted to use it the whole way, but it wouldn't have looked right. You also see, I keep catching places, oh yeah, you forgot here. Oh, brain, you forgot here, because that middle bit is just so narrow, it's hard to see that I did miss places, so I was trying to make sure I got it all. And then I wanted to make sure that I also didn't forget the ceilings on those. Or the roof tiling? I don't know. Oh wow, we're almost done. So this is actually a 3-part series. I probably should have said that beforehand, because it took me a good 3 or 4 hours to finish building this, just because it was so complex. I'm doing my little footpath. I can't remember if that's the right paint, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm just kind of going through, I'm trying to remember where I stopped here, because I did it all in one sitting, but once I saw I was at 40 minutes, because this is sped up, obviously, I was like, okay, so we can't keep recording, we need to stop. Yeah, I was trying so hard to, like, split things up, because I just didn't like, it was just too jarring having them sit next to each other like that. I do think I end up removing a lot of this later, because while it's jarring, like, these columns don't look right. But at the same time, it bugged me. So it was like, I have to do something. And I was like, well, I'll do them over here. And then I was like, no, they shouldn't be there. And then I mostly talked to myself the entire time that I built this, just out loud. It's probably a good thing that people can't hear me, but if you could, you would have heard my strong thoughts and opinions. Now I'm trying to work on this side of the building because it just looks hodgepodge. It looks a mess. So I was like, well, I'll put like a little bit of a balcony here. I can use these details. I was so mad at those bricks because I can't recolor them. I didn't realize that till later, but... Or actually, I realized it now, but I didn't realize till after I put them up that I couldn't recolor them, and I was like, why? Which just worsened my problem of all the wallpapers touching that are different. Didn't like it. Couldn't do much about it. We're pretty much at the end. I do use these buttress pieces. Realistically, they probably shouldn't be there, but I just needed to break it up a bit. So yeah, if you guys have any thoughts, opinions, suggestions, as always, if you have building types that would fall under the alphabet, especially like U, I'm discovering is weird, and Z, definitely leave those down below, because I do need to finalize my list, and I need ideas. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.